Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where I'm going to do a couple of jobs which are long overdue. So the first one is to sort out the damage from a cordyline from actually not this winter gone but the winter before, where it was heavily damaged. And I'm also going to take out a little bit of hedge to let the bamboo that's next to the hedge spread a little bit, and also control the bamboo as well. So I'll talk you through how I actually stop the bamboo from spreading in places I don't want it to spread. So let's go have some fun. Now this cordyline needs some attention. This was damaged about 18 months ago now, in the very cold December of 2022. And the growing point, which was actually had 3 growing points, all died. And I kept the trunk as it was because I thought it might regrow from some way up the trunk. It didn't. It's grown from the base, and that's an understatement really. I mean, it's gone crazy. I've got no chance of counting how many new growth points there are at the moment, but I would estimate there are 20. And that's all well and good, but on the left hand side here, it's really pushing up against this deck board on the raised bed. And if I show you this corner, it's actually starting to push the deck board away from where it should be. So I definitely need to do something about this. So the ones on this side, this one for example, absolutely fine, no problem with that at all. But I do need to somehow sort out this side and stop them from pushing this away. So the first thing I'm going to do is from this side, from the left, I'm going to saw the trunk, get rid of the trunk, and in doing that I may take off 1 or 2 growing points over there, which are probably causing some of the damage anyway. And I will also hopefully make it a bit more accessible to get in there and see actually what the problem is. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to try first of all with this old bow saw. It's not the sharpest tool and don't know how it'll get on. If it's nice and firm still, then it should be okay, but if there's any sort of rot in there in the trunk, then may not be so good. But let's see how we get on. No, that hasn't worked brilliantly. There's so much growth. Actually get a good view of it from this side. There's so much sort of fibrous leaves in the way that it's actually really hard to get in there and make a cut. You can see I've started, but I've managed to get through that, but it's all sort of just getting in the way really. So I think I might try a different tool. Okay, without setting the camera back up, I just was able to pull and cut with that saw a few more growing points off. So I think we've got 3 now that have come off, and it has opened up the space a lot more so I can see what's going on. I think if I continue with the bow saw, I will end up taking off virtually all of the growth points, which I don't really want to do. So what I'm going to do now is use a different tool. It's a pole saw, to try and just take off the trunk and not too much more of the growth points, although this one here definitely needs to come. There may be another one as well over there, but my dad's borrowing the pole saw in a minute, so I'll need to do that a different day. Okay, it's the next day and I've got my pole saw now. I've put some oil in it and let's go and attack the cordyline with this. Struggling with this as well, again, because it's so fibrous. It's constantly clogging the chain. So I have managed to get through quite a lot. You can see I can probably just push it over, to be honest. There's not much left there that I haven't got through. I've got through 3/4 of it at least. So I'll get back in and take that last bit off. I should be able to get in there now, I think. Okay, I've used just a bit of timber I had to prop it open, so I'm not going to get my saw stuck in there. And let's finish this one off. Okay, there we go, timber. So, all this fibre absolutely everywhere. I've gone through quite a few growing points. Not quite sure on the number, but I'm gonna have a little tidy up in here now and see what I can see. Right, so I've managed to have a bit of a clear up here now. I've taken a couple of growing points out there and maybe 1 or 2 from there as well, and just had a bit of a clean up. We've still got loads of this fibrous stuff here. It was all completely clogging up the mechanism of this, so I've spent a good 10 minutes on declogging that. Here are some of the growing points that I took out, and yeah, I mean I can get my finger now between here and the trunk, partly because the bark has fallen off. So I may decide to cut a bit of that off at some point if it continues to expand, which I think it probably will over time. But we can now, you know, it's not bothering this deck board at the minute, certainly. This growing point here I'm a little bit worried about. Is that gonna bother this one at some point? Again, I think I'm gonna leave it for now and see how it goes. So from this side, I mean, if I move this out of the way, that looks much better. And you can't really see the trunk, which is on this side. We've got so much growth this side that, you know, if I'm sat here at the table, just looks like a nice multi-point cordyline. So we'll see, we'll continue to monitor it as it continues to grow, and at some point I may take some of the stems out, not quite sure yet. Now to do something with this, I suppose. I think I might be heading to the tip. I've got a few things to take to the tip, so maybe that'll come with me. Another job I want to do today is to, well, actually I'll show you one I've already done. I've put some gravel down by the trampoline, just because it becomes either a bit of a mud bath or very difficult to maintain. It's very difficult to cut grass around, you know, all of these bags and water butts and compost bins and all sorts of things. So I've put some down. I've got some more gravel to extend that a bit further. I haven't quite decided what I'm doing. I would like to maybe make a path the whole way around the trampoline. The difficulty is containing the gravel because it's a sunken trampoline. It's difficult to maintain that, so I need to go underneath the trampoline at some point and have a look, because here one of the deck boards I put in has already fallen through. But that's not for today. What I'd like to do today is take out a bit of this hedge. So if I can try and get somewhere near it, then I can show you what I want to do. So I've got some bamboo here, I've got some Phyllostachys vivax there, and then some ordinary Phyllostachys there. And it's protected with a moat border, or a trench. It's a moat when it's full of water, obviously, but it's a trench. And it's now spread, well, a couple of years ago actually, it spread right next to this end part of the hedge, which is, I wondered what that, why this bit of the trunk was a different colour. And then I realised that's the original stake, that's the top of the stake, that when someone planted this, I don't know, 20 years ago maybe, basically the tree, the hedge, has engulfed the stake within itself. It's eaten it, which I found quite interesting. I know I have heard of tree trunks doing that, but never actually seen it myself. Anyway, what I want to do is take out this end trunk right down there. I'm not going to dig it up because it's too close to the bamboo, so I'm just going to cut across it with the pole saw, and then this whole section here will be removed. You can see the bamboo is naturally growing above the height of the hedge, which is ideal. And the long-term plan would be to remove one of these trunks every couple of years as the bamboo spreads, and eventually it'll just be a bamboo hedge. But it is a good screen, so I don't want to just take it out and plant bamboo all along it. I want to do it gradually. Okay, so that's been opened up quite a bit, hasn't it? I left quite a lot of the trunk in there, but I took off all the branches, and yeah, it's created a bit of a gap. Now, I don't mind there being a gap there, because if I turn 180 degrees, we've got a shed. So it's not really, I was worried about privacy, so that's no issue at all. We'll just have a quick look in there, see what's going on. So I think this bamboo here will just continue spreading. I'm going to extend the barrier to stop it, to keep it under control. I'm going to extend that along the fence line, basically, maybe a foot inside of the fence line, and also along here as well. And yeah, I think the bamboo will just grow around it, and then obviously eventually this will rot and be engulfed by the bamboo altogether. So the way that I control the spread of the bamboo is by digging quite a deep trench all the way around where I want it to be, creating a little island of where the bamboo is allowed to be. And let me demonstrate, it's quite hard to see, but I would guess that is about 8 or 9 inches deep. Probably needs to be a foot, if I'm honest. So each year I just go around, take a little bit more out, and all the way around. Occasionally I will find a rhizome or a new bit of growth which I cut through, which is trying to sort of escape from the island, but hopefully everything stays in the island. It always grows so far at least, it's grown from, you know, quite high up. I've yet to find one that's been way down at the base, several inches down. So I do understand they can go a foot. Some people have even said 1.5 feet deep. So the goal really is to each year just go a little bit deeper, and I'm confident that in doing that I can stop it spreading in unwanted places. You can see over here I'm already, I don't know if I can show you the angle, I'm already 1 foot deep there. So I'll just go a little bit deeper each year and try and stop that from spreading. I want it to spread a little bit. I want it to spread within the island, but I don't want it to escape and go next door. I don't want it to escape and come this way, and I don't want it to escape and go that way either. That's it for this week. I'm very soon going to be doing a full garden tour, and just want to have a little bit of a tidy up beforehand. It's not going to be immaculate, but just want to get it in a good looking condition, and then I'll do a full tour. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you still are.